October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month, and KPRC2 is helping survivors break free. All month long, we're having conversations to help raise awareness and provide resources for survivors. Joining me live in Studio A this morning is Diane with the Neurosequential Network with more on how domestic violence can affect your child. Good morning. Thank you so much for your time this morning.
Sure.
We know this is a topic. This is a matter that has many layers that impacts all people within our lives, from our parents to our siblings, our spouses, our children, and even our pets. But I want to focus on the work that you do in helping survivors and their loved ones break free.
Okay. What do you want to know?
Tell us all about your organization and the work that you do.
Well, I'm with the Neurosequential Network, so primarily what we do is training, advocacy, and research around the effects of child abuse on the developing brains of children. And then we train people on, particularly clinicians, coaches, teachers, educators, on how to manage and work with the kids, because abuse changes how your brain is wired and organized, which then changes your behavior.
And of course, if that's happening at a young age, we're talking about children here,
right,
that's going to have an impact on their everyday lives.
Going forward, from that point going forward, yes. Because your early experiences wire how your brain is put together so that it helps you function later. Basically, your brain has a lot of nerve cells, neurons, when you're born, but they are not necessarily connected. It's the experience that connects them. And then and the environment in which it is living determines how they're connected. So if you're living in chaos and threat and danger, you're going to be wired to survive in that, which then makes you jumpier, more anxious, more afraid.
That's going to spill over into, say, your life at school, within sports, extracurricular activities, if you even have opportunities to do those, because we know sometimes intimate partner violence and domestic violence can hinder those opportunities for children. They might not have the option to participate in sports or even extracurricular.
They may not even feel like it. They
Right,
feel too
right,
threatened
right.
most of the time, so they're more focused on surviving than trying new things and exploring.
And of course, the intervention here, the solutions for these types of issues are going to be different, right? It's not one size fits all. We're talking about short-term and long-term effects and how to handle that. Talk to us about, with some of the findings you've uncovered, talk to us about the solutions here for these children, for these families.
Well, obviously, the biggest solution is to not have domestic violence in the first place. I think it's also important that we recognize that the earlier a child is exposed to this, the worse the outcome.
Yeah.
Because it does set up for the future. And you take that template that you learn.
Those experiences, yeah.
Yes, those experiences create a template that you use for the rest of your life. So it affects your marriages.
Tough to break.
Absolutely, absolutely. So I think children need to know that the parent who's being abused is safe. It can be safe, that if they tell anything, that they will be safe, that they won't cause further harm to the parent that is being abused. So those are things that the rest of us can help with.
Yeah. And we know this is tough. You know, every situation is unique. Every situation is different from the next. And in some cases, parents stay in these situations for the kids. And so it's this, I see it, because it's not the first time you've heard this, from people. When we launched this initiative last year, I did a story on how intimate partner violence, domestic violence, impacts same-sex couples. Oftentimes it's viewed as an issue for women, but what happens when it's two men in the relationship? A colleague of mine did a story on how this impacts animals and how animals are affected by this and why some people stay in it for the animals. So again, each situation is unique, but knowing there are resources to help regardless of what's happening is really critical here.
Right, and I would say if you're in a domestic violence situation and you're staying in it for the children, don't.
get out.
It doesn't benefit
Yeah,
the children.
yeah.
They're better off with one healthy, they need healthy relationships. So they're better off with one healthy parent relationship, with one healthy relationship, than living in chaos, because that other parent cannot attend to those children. They're too busy trying to survive.
It's not working for you. It certainly is not working for them.
No, absolutely.
For more information, resources on where folks can go through your network.
Oh, the Neurosequential, it's a long word, .com. You can also look at Dr. Bruce Perry's website, and of course, AVDA.
And we, of course, will put all of this information, including these links, inside our articles on our website. That's click2houston.com/breakingfree. There we have a plethora of different resources and information to help those in these difficult positions. Diane Vines, thank you so much for your time this morning. We do appreciate it.
It was a pleasure.